Hey guys, this is Arsenal Giants PS3 and this is episode 19 of season 1 of our FIFA 13 career mode series with Swansea City, and we are now into the latter stages of March and the beginnings of April, and I have 3 matches for you in this episode. First off, we have a home game against Tottenham. That'll be a very difficult match. Then we are away at Norwich, which will also be a fairly difficult match, and then lastly we are also away at Wigan Athletic, also be a tough match considering we are at the DW Stadium, and of course playing away from home is never ever very easy. And in the Barclays Premier League table, we are in 7th place with 45 points, some really great results lately which have seen us push up the table. We are only 2 points behind Man City and 3 points behind Liverpool in that European spot, and as voted by you guys for episode 17's goal of the episode was the Nathan Dyer goal against Arsenal, so thank you very much guys for voting on that. It is greatly appreciated, and that was your goal of the episode. So anyway, on to this episode itself now, and on to our first match against Tottenham. And of course the Tottenham team is always going to be very difficult and also very strong as well. They do have Moussa Dembele, Adebayor up front. Moussa Dembele playing in a lot more forward role than he usually does for Tottenham. I think he normally plays sort of a centre attacking midfielder rather than a centre forward, and they get off to a fantastic start. Sandro with a cross in to Moussa Dembele, and a really good strike there. Sadly for Ashley Williams, he just can't make the block, and then Mishovon behind him can't see what's happening ahead of him, and it's right past him before he can put out an arm. And Tottenham still on the attack, causing us a lot of problems, and Adebayor there with a pretty shocking effort, but still Tottenham creating chances. And at last we have a chance of our own here. A lot happening in this first half actually. Christian Teo on the flank gets the better of Kyle Walker, lofts the ball into the area, and Guedetti there really should be at least getting that on target, but that was an opportunity, and still Christian Teo causing a lot of problems on this flank, yet again causing a lot of issues to Tottenham, and Vertonghen there brings him down inside the penalty area. I'm not really too sure about it itself. Let's have a look at the replay here. Just as he turns Vertonghen, he's sort of dragged to the ground there. Maybe Vertonghen got a touch, but Guedetti steps up and just can't quite get enough power on it, and it's a really simple stop for Brad Friedel, and unfortunately for us that was it. Still 1-0 to Tottenham, but Son Heung-ki here, really good determination to carry on and win the ball, has the chance and just try to finesse it, and yet again it's a good stop by Brad Friedel, but we really should have taken the opportunity. And now Tottenham just one more chance on the 36th minute. Moussa Dembele, some terrible defending, just getting caught up with one another. Mishovon makes a good stop, palms it onto the post, and eventually it is cleared out for another attack. And just before half time, Nathan Dyer running through and goal, has support in the shape of Pablo Hernandez, passes it across to him, and that is the equaliser for Pablo. Really good play there as Nathan Dyer ran down the flank and then passed it in, and at half time Swansea 1, Tottenham 1. We are back in this match now, but still Tottenham are a very strong team, and they are going to have chances. And Moussa Dembele here right past Ashley Williams way too easily, lost the ball in, and Adebayor with the header on the 54th minute to put Tottenham 2-1 up. Really simple stuff there. The ball whipped in. Mishovon maybe should have stayed on his line a bit more, sort of came out a bit too quickly, but still we have to now play ourselves back into this one and try to get another equaliser. And Christian Teo does really well, drags it a bit too wide there, goes for the effort, and it's a really good stop by Brad Friedel, and then the ball whipped in to Guedetti, and that is the equaliser right there from Guedetti with the header. Really good stuff for the ball whipped in, and then he meeks it with power and into the side netting, and Brad Friedel really wasn't going to get to that one. And still another opportunity here, and Guedetti once again has the shot, just goes wide of the post, and so I make a few substitutions. Joel Campbell and Leon Britton coming on to hopefully get this winner, but still Tottenham are going to be causing us problems. But look at this for a through ball right into the path of Pablo Hernandez to get his second goal of the match there. Really good goal there by us, and a great strike there by Pablo Hernandez. Just takes the one touch to set himself up and then just smashes it in the back of the net. And still Nathan Dyer right past Asu Akoto and into the corner, as you can see now. Just going to time waste this one. It is the 84th minute, 85th minute now, and just going to keep this in the corner for as long as possible before the tackle comes in. And then that should be that, guys. At full time, 3-2 to us. A really impressive 3 points there, and a great comeback. And we have an offer here from Manchester City rather, and it is to take over as their manager until the end of the season. But to be honest guys, I don't really want to stay in the Premier League for another season after this one, so I'm going to have to reject that offer. I'm sorry if you guys wanted me to take it, but here are some potential job openings. Obviously we have the Man City one, then we have the Levante one in Liga BBVA, and also the Granada job also in La Liga. So I don't really want to take those jobs. They aren't really that, impressive, and I want to hold out for a little bit of a more impressive offer, so hopefully one of them will come towards the end of the season, because obviously we aren't going to have offers at the end of the season. You guys have already told me that, but hopefully just as we sort of progress towards the end of it, I'll get a few more offers and see what will happen. And to be honest, in the first half of this match against Norwich, not really much was happening, but in the 9th minute here, somehow this is a penalty. I don't know, to be honest. We're not going to look at the replay, but we are complaining, but it is a penalty, and Lee Dong-gook steps up, and look at that from Mishovon, just shocking. It's right above his head, and he just looks at it, and then he sort of flies in the air a bit, I don't know, but it is 1-0 to Norwich, and that was just such a stupid goal to give away the penalty, and Mishovon not even trying to save it. We have a chance here though, Chico with a header, and it just goes wide of the post. They're not really threatening the goal, but it was a good attempt, and Pablo Hernandez here, really good skill, goes for the strike, and it's a pretty comfortable stop for John Ruddy, and eventually cleared out, but still putting Norwich under pressure, trying to get a few more opportunities. And Nathan Dyer right inside the area, hasn't got a lot of support in the centre, so he lays it off here to Paul Pogba, and he's going to set himself up and go for the strike, and what a strike it was to equalise, and a really good goal there by Pogba, just hits it from way far out, and it then goes in the back of the net. Great strike by him, and also look at this, right after that goal, some great passing and some great movement. Christian Teo spots the run from Guglietti in the centre, and also a great header by him to get the 2-1 now over Norwich, and what a turnaround that is. Great cross in from Teo, then a really powerful header, although if you see in the replay, it doesn't actually touch him, like the ball doesn't really touch his head and it still flies in the back of the net. I'm not really sure about that. That's just sort of your average FIFA 13 physics, but nonetheless it is still 2-1 to us, and just after half time here we do win a free kick. Pablo Hernandez trying to carry on and try to playing on, but it is going to bring it back for the free kick. The ball whipped in, and Guglietti here has a really good opportunity to head it in the back of the net and give us a 3-1 lead, but sadly can't quite get it on target, and still Norwich now have a chance. Pilkington with this, Anthony Pilkington rather. That's just from the Ricky Gervais show and all that, but nonetheless Norwich had a chance there, just went wide of the post, and now the ball whipped in, and Steve Morrison there has a great opportunity, great chance to equalise, but can't take it, and now Norwich bring on Grant Holt, and I bring on Jonathan de Guzman, and he has an opportunity here. Guglietti holding up the play, tries to play it over but can't quite get it on target, and then a great pass over the top, and Jonathan de Guzman rather has the shot and just can't get it on target, and we make a few more substitutions, bringing on Joel Campbell and Sergio Roberto, and still now putting him under pressure, trying to get another opportunity, but just what happens here, the offside trap falls apart, and then Grant Holt has a really good chance and takes it with ease. A really simple finish from him to make it 2-2, and just that was some terrible defending to open up so easily, and now yet again we have to try and turn it around and try to win 3-2, and Nathan Dyer here on the edge of the area plays it back inside, falls to Jonathan de Guzman, really good touch by him, and just like that we have the lead once again in the 86th minute, and a great strike there, just takes up the single touch, sets himself up, and then just smashes it in the back of the net. And just before the end of half time, Christian Teo snatches it off Michael Turner and then tries to chip Ruddy, but just hits the crossbar and eventually bounces out, and that is it guys at full time. Yet again 3-2 to us, and another comeback and 3 points to lift ourselves up in the table. But anyway, on to our third and final match of this episode now, against Wigan Athletic, and after those two really positive results, I'm kind of expecting this one to be a little bit easier, because Wigan obviously are pretty tough opposition, especially at home, but they're not all that. They do have Franco De Santo and a few other players like McCarthy, but apart from that they're not really that strong. We get a bit unlucky there, nothing really happening in the opening stages, but things get a lot more interesting after that. Krusat plays in McCarthy here, and then he hasn't really got a lot of options, dribbles it a little bit more, but cuts back inside, really good job there, but then the shot just goes wide of the post, but defensively not so good there. But Guglietti then running through and goal, the other run from Nathan Dyer distracting the players, tries to cross it and takes a deflection, and then Ali Al-Hamzi just about manages to smother it, and eventually out of play there for the corner, which sadly comes to nothing. And look at this is just the most simple thing you've ever seen ever. McCarthy plays it through to Krusat, and it's 1-0 to Wigan, and that was the most simple goal I've ever seen scored on FIFA. The defence opens up completely, there's no one challenging him, nobody trying to at least get a block in, try to intercept it, and it's just 1-0 to Wigan. And still, this is so simple. Raul Miyake here just receives the ball and then just plays it in the back of the net, and just it's so simple. There's no other word for it. It's so simple play from Wigan, and at half time it's 2-0 to them, and just we were playing so poorly. There were hardly any chances. Defensively we were all over the place. Paul Pogba there tries to finesse it in, but really just not on target at all, and still Wigan causing us all sorts of problems here. The shot coming in, and Michelvorm has to make the stop, but still Wigan piling on pressure. Lenz here runs through, but a good stop by Michelvorm yet again, and then we tried to clear it. I'm just going to speed this up just a little bit to carry on with play, and Raul Miyake will have the ball in a second here. He plays it to Boselli and then falls to Lenz here. He just plays through Bolshajor and then to McCarthy, and it's 3-0 to Wigan already. And just this performance has been absolutely terrible. I have to take blame for it myself, considering I'm controlling them, but still it was just such a terrible performance today, and just we were hardly creating any chances at all. But Jonathan de Guzman running through here, this pretty much epitomised our performance today. Just running through, lets it carry on, and eventually claimed by the keeper, and that was just, it's so simple for Wigan today, trying to create chances but nothing falling for us at all. Just look at this, on the edge of the area, trying to create something but nothing happening at all, and eventually Wigan can play it out, and at full time 3-0 to them. Just an absolute humiliation. And looking at the table now, we are still in 7th place, so there are some positives, but we are on 51 points, 2 points still behind Man City and just 4 points behind Liverpool, so it's not all negative. And at the bottom of the table is of course Norwich City, Reading and West Ham, so things are looking up for us. But now it's time for this episode's goal of the episode, as voted, but well, to be voted by you guys. First off, we have the Pablo Hernandez goal against Tottenham, really good ball over the top, then a great strike there by Pablo Hernandez. Second of all, we have the Paul Pogba strike against Norwich City from quite far out there, just smashes it in, and that is a great strike by Paul Pogba. And then lastly here, just as we see on the replay, it is the Christian Teo crossing to Guglietti for the header. 3 very different types of goals, so I'm sure you guys can sort of pick between them and choose your goal of the episode. And if you could leave a comment with your goal of the episode, that'd be greatly appreciated. And thank you very much guys for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a thumbs up. It is going to be really helpful if you do that, and that'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much guys for watching.